My initial experience with Breath of the Wild was kind of funny, to be honest, because when I first got my Switch back in 2019, like August, I believe it was August, late July, something like that, I only had 2 games, and that was Smash and Mario Kart. I didn't get Breath of the Wild until January or February of 2020 because I had a road trip planned. Well, it wasn't just me, it was just me and a bunch of friends. We were going to Florida. I said, man, I need to get a game that's gonna make time go by faster while riding in the car or whatever. So I chose Breath of the Wild because the drive there was 12 hours. So I was like, damn, 12 hours there and back. So the real kick in the nuts was when I got to the Airbnb. Well, when we got to the Airbnb, I don't know why I keep saying but when we got there, I forgot Breath of the Wild. I only had Mario Kart with me. I was like, what the fuck? So when I got back from the trip, that's when the big C started in 2020. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And I just ended up playing hella different games with my friends, and my Switch really didn't even get used throughout that year. So Breath of the Wild wasn't even on my mind. So fast forward 3 years later, I was in my room and I was like, man, it's just time I want to experience this. Actually, no, I just lied about all of that. I actually played like 5 minutes of Breath of the Wild back in 2020 when I first got it, because I remember it now. I remember this clearly now. When I got home, I played it for like 5 minutes because I got out of the cave. No bullshit. Once I got to the dude with the old king of Hyrule, because you know I know who he is now because I beat the fucking game. When you go to him, man, when he sent out the fire camp, I remember I got to him, and I think I tried to get to the snow part. When you know when you go to the snow, you gotta cook the food to warm up. I didn't know that at the time. I got to the snow part, kept down. I said, fuck this game, whatever. Now you fast forward 3 years later, 2023, about March. And I said, you know what? Let's go ahead and get this try. Man, I finally learned how to get past that cold part, and I literally played, like, I think I got like 85 hours of that game played. One of the best games I've ever played in my life, I swear to God. It was such an eye-opening experience for me. I was like, bro, why did it take me this long to play the game? When did Breath of the Wild come out? Like 2017? It took me over 6 years to play this game. I was like, bro, I don't know why. Well, 6 games technically off of release, and about 4 off of, when I actually bought it. And I said to myself, wow, I've been missing out this whole time. I've been playing myself. No bullshit. I swear to God, one day last year, I played Breath of the Wild for 10 hours straight on off day. 10 hours straight. I'm not lying. The game had me so hooked. At one point, I was just running around, just exploring, not even just doing mainline, quests. I was just indulging in the full experience. It was crazy. I don't know. I just felt like it was a lot of things to indulge in personally, and I was like, dude, this is beautiful. Of course, I know who Link is. I know about all the legends. Well, not all of them. Well, yeah, pretty much all of them. I just never literally played any Zelda games until Breath of the Wild. I've always just watched YouTubers play it. Not Breath of the Wild, just, Zelda games in general. So when I finally played Breath of the Wild, it was just like, bro, I want to play all of these games. I want to experience. Cause I got, what is it called? Skyward Sword in there. Cause not too long ago, since I got my Wii again, I bought, what is the one where he turned to a wolf? Was it Twilight Princess, I believe it's called? Something like that. And I'm going to end up playing Wind Waker, and I'm going to get the little subscription pass to play Majora's Mask, and what's the other one? Ocarina of Time, because it's on the Switch little, the thing. I can't think about it. It's one of the more I can't think about it. You know what I'm talking about though. Like I said, it was really fun, but I'm not going to lie. That game really had me stumped sometimes, but sometimes it was also a lot of overthinking, and sometimes that game just wanted you to do something you wouldn't really have thought of, you know what I'm saying? But it was my first Zelda game. Of course, I'm gonna need a little help. Breath of the Wild is definitely how you do open world correctly. It wasn't just open world just to be open world. You get what I'm saying? Just like, oh, look at this open world, but there's just nothing there, just vast nothingness. But Breath of the Wild, it was something everywhere, literally everywhere. You can just go explore, and you're gonna run into somebody or something. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think one of the biggest problems though with Breath of the Wild was when you go get to the Master Sword. Like my Switch was shit in the bed every time I walked up to the Master Sword to try to get it. That area, I don't know what it was. It was just that area specifically was just going super crazy. And I really like fighting the bosses. So with the bosses, I'm not gonna lie, I gotta say the ending was very underwhelming when it comes to difficulty of the boss, because I feel like the blights were way harder than the final boss, like way harder. I think the hardest Ganon blight had to be the one with in the desert. I forgot his name, but you know what I'm talking about, the one desert you gotta fight. Because it was difficult to me because I really didn't think about doing my what you gotta do with the grenade looking ball thing. You gotta make him suck it in, pause. And I didn't think about doing that. I think the water one was tough too. But yeah, the final boss with Ganon, I was like, bro, this is like the blights gave me more of a problem than this dude. And I'm not saying the final boss is bad, like, at all. I'm not saying that at all. I was just saying the difficulty wise was very underwhelming. I thought it was gonna be like fucking like a Dark Souls boss, you know what I'm saying? Well, not to that degree, but I thought it was gonna be very difficult because the blights were very difficult. So after beating that, I was very, very happy to find out that they were pretty much doing a part 2 with Tears of the Kingdom. I'm still playing that right now, and that's how you really do open world. That's how you do a sequel right. That's how you real deal just expand upon something like, okay, we did something good this time. Now let's expand on it and do it the right way, because a lot of times sequels just either they do too much or they don't do enough, you know what I'm saying? But I'll talk about Tears of the Kingdom that day. You know, I'm still running around just doing random shit, building carts and flying and whatever. But yeah, Breath of the Wild really was an eye-opening experience. I think that's my most played game when it comes to hours. I think I have 85, 87 hours on it, on the Switch that is. It was also funny trying to figure out recipes with cooking, because at one point I was just like throwing random shit together, and to see how if you fuck up a meal, like you'll just get this random goop. That shit was funny. I like how they did that, but I like how they do, if you know, put the right things into a recipe, it can really benefit you a lot. I like that too. So now that I'm really getting into the Zelda lore and fandom and all that, I'm really ready to see what the other games are like.